Showdown in the Senate over Saudi Arabia. The Senate right now debating a non-binding resolution calling on the U.S. to stop supporting Saudi Arabia's involvement in the civil war in Yemen. Here's what Secretary of State Mike Pompeo had to say this morning.
The murder of Jamal Khashoggi was a tragic incident. It was heinous. It's not something that America approves of. We've already held a number of individuals accountable by putting sanctions on them, those that we have evidence were directly involved. We'll continue to develop the facts, but America has an important ally in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. They work with us on issues that provide security for America and for Israel. It is an important relationship with the Kingdom, and we intend to continue to protect the American people.
Let's bring in Zuhdi Jasser, president of the American Islamic Forum for Democracy. Sir, thank you for joining us. What do you think of what Mike Pompeo said there?
I think he's right on the money. Thank God we have somebody with perspective, proportionality. Many of us for a long time have been critical of the regime in Saudi Arabia, have wanted them to release prisoners of conscience, has called upon them to come to terms with human rights, all things that they've never done. But every president from Obama to Bush to Clinton has given them a pass. Now, all of a sudden, an Islamist that they have declared war on the Brotherhood, they commit an assassination in an embassy, which is egregious, and we have sanctioned 17 of their leadership individuals, I think rightly so. But now all of a sudden the left has gotten a conscience about Saudi Arabia, and meanwhile they want to implode a 50-year relationship and destabilize strategic interests for us, for Israel, against Iran, against Qatar, against Turkey, and other interests in the region that we have to remain stable with them. It's just sort of a bizarre a reaction from, I think, a disproportionate problem.
Meanwhile, I mean, they're debating this non-binding resolution. So in other words, it's a whole lot of hot air. They're going to sit there and vote on something that has no teeth and no action and nothing behind it. Is there any harm in that if there's no follow-through? There's nothing attached to it.
Well, here's the harm. The harm is, where was this resolution a year ago when there were crimes being committed not only by the Saudis but by Iran? Where was this resolution a month ago when we had an American citizen from Chicago killed in Syria, an American citizen killed and assassinated in Syria by the Assad regime, but nobody seems to care? Where's the resolution telling the Saudis to release prisoners of conscience? I think this decreases our credibility where the world sees an Islamist who was a Saudi national who was killed. Meanwhile, we turn a blind eye to everything else, and now all of a sudden America has a conscience on Yemen. It doesn't fit together and makes us actually look pretty weak and undercuts what Secretary Pompeo and the Trump administration are doing in the region.
What do you think is the appropriate response from the president or from the administration on the Khashoggi issue?
From the beginning, I tweeted out the day after it happened, I said, now is the time for the Saudi regime to release 10 prisoners of conscience, Raif Badawi, his attorney, Walid Abu Khair. If they really care about an individual and are truly apologetic, whether it goes to the top or not, I'm really sort of sick and tired of sort of the Senator Graham's Game of Thrones. I don't want to replace MBS and bring in somebody else who then America owns. No, that makes no sense. The dabbling in dictatorships ended in the 20th century. At least tell them, release prisoners of conscience that we know we've been following and asking them to release. Their families are here in the West. We've been asking Raif Badawi to be released. That would show a move towards actual contrition versus actually stopping arms deals and pretending to play Games of Thrones and other things, which doesn't make any sense.
In terms of the war in Yemen, Mike Pompeo has made the argument that if the U.S. weren't there, there would be more casualties, that, it's important to be there to support Saudi Arabia or promote any kind of stability in the region, on and on. He has a lot of reasons for that. Other side have said that it's a crisis and that we should have a conscience about having any involvement in the region. Where do you come down on the situation in Yemen?
I have to tell you, I'm heartbroken to see that not only the images, but to hear from folks that have been there. It is a humanitarian disaster in the order of what's been happening in Syria. But what is the solution there? The solution is not then to lean on our allies to pull out and then allow Iran and the Houthis to put a further pressure and actually then lead towards a bigger conflagration between the Saudis and the Iranians, which would then push us into having to be involved militarily, etc. So I would say we need to think this through. Yes, we should have been putting pressure before to stop crimes against humanity from being done by the Saudis especially, but not to mention Iran and the Houthis. But that's not a solution. We can't remove Saudi Arabia from Yemen and then think that that somehow is going to solve the problem in Yemen. It'll actually make it 100 times worse.
Zuhdi Jasser, thank you for your perspective. We appreciate it.